What's up, guys? We are Tottenham TV here. We are here for a match preview for the Liverpool game on Sunday. We're here with Chris from RedmenTV. How you doing,
I'm
Chris?
all right, man. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers for coming on. All right, let's go right into it. Liverpool, they're in a bit of a funny period at the moment. They beat City, and then they went on to lose to Swansea, and then West Brom, and then beat Huddersfield 3-0 on Tuesday. What do you reckon of Liverpool's form going into this game?
Liverpool are the only team in the league who are in crisis and have gone into third in the table. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. We had 18 games unbeaten before we went into that loss against Swansea, and I think Swansea proved against Arsenal the other night that they're not a crap side no more. Carvajal's got them playing in a good way and getting results. And listen, West Bromwich Albion, yeah, you know what, we were poor, we were terrible. You know what I mean? And that's that. You know, 2 games isn't the end of a season. It's why he's played over 38 games. This Liverpool side is still a good team. We proved that against Huddersfield. We went out there, we proved people wrong. We showed everyone that we can still score goals. I'm disappointed as a Liverpool fan we've not strengthened this window. But
Except for Van Dijk.
Yeah. Sorry. When I say strengthened, I mean the squad get better. And I think losing Phil Coutinho makes you a worse team and a worse squad. Although we have massively strengthened in an area of the pitch that we needed to and have needed to for a long time. Yeah, listen, I'm not in the best place at the moment, but the form of the team is not one of the problems for me at the moment.
Obviously you've sold Coutinho. Who's his kind of been replacement in the team? Who's kind of come in for him?
Yeah, it was a funny one really. Coutinho started this season as more of a left centre midfielder, and we saw a little bit more of him there. But where he actually played best was still that left forward position. So Sadio Mane is essentially his replacement in that role, and that we were playing any 3 from 4 of them, you know, a few weeks ago, and now we're just essentially playing Salah on one side, Mane on the other, and Firmino top. So we've kind of the team's got worse because they're not able to be as fresh. You know, and at some point down the line, that will probably cause us a few problems, especially when the Champions League starts back up. Weeks like this week when you're playing 2 games in a week. As far as centre midfield go, Oxlade-Chamberlain's come into some good form. We've got Emre Can, who's moved into that 8 role as well, just recently because Henderson's back in the 6. We've got Gini Wijnaldum there as well. So we're okay. Our first team's okay. We just don't have that depth on the bench anymore that we had earlier on in the season.
Liverpool, they always at home to the big teams, they always seem to turn up against them. You know, after you saw how they performed against Man City, they took them to the cleaners, and you know most of the other big sides, Arsenal, they beat 5-0, 4-0. But what is it about? Is it a consistency problem in terms of, you know, sometimes you come up against smaller sides and you can struggle a bit, but the big sides you always turn up against at home?
Yeah, I think we're very good at, you know, much like Tottenham, we play a gegenpress, don't we? It's a high press, and we look to win the ball back, and it works better against expansive football teams, you know, teams that are going to go out and get, you know, Manchester City are going to play football, Tottenham are going to play football, although they've got the high press as well.
Yeah.
You know, you saw the results against Manchester United. They're not a team that play expansive football. We struggled against them. They sat in low block side, much like yourselves. When there's a low block side, there's not a lot of space. You've got to work your opportunities. You've got to create good opportunities and got to take your chances. That's what Liverpool haven't been doing well against some of these low block sides. I'm not going to say smaller because it's a little bit disrespectful, but you know, they do have to do that. I understand it's a good tactic against us because it keeps getting results. It's a good tactic against you, but when we're able to play that high press, we look so much more dangerous.
It was like what the Swansea manager said: if you put an F1 car in London traffic, it's not going to move very fast, is it?
It's
and live for an
right.
F1.
It's absolutely right, you know. And listen, the pace in our attack is incredible. You've got Mo Salah, who's lightning. You've got Sadio Mane, who's absolutely lightning. You've got Firmino, who's got the touch and the vision to be able to hit these guys when the ball's played into him as that false 9. So you negate that space that they can run into. You sit a little bit deeper and you ask Liverpool to start playing crosses or work really tight opportunities. That's when you're going to start to struggle because you have to be perfect, don't you? You know, those little 1-2s on the edge of the area when there's 7 people around you, it just has to be touch perfect. And it's difficult. That's a hard way to score a goal, and you know sometimes you wish that we had a bit of a bigger guy that you could lump the ball into. But we've never historically we've been terrible with target men. So
well, Peter Crouch didn't do too badly.
Yeah, that's true. Like I need a great celebration.
I think Liverpool at the moment it's quite similar to Spurs in terms of it's been how long since you won a trophy? What, 5 years, 6 years?
Yeah, it was 2012.
2012 when you won the Carling Cup. And same for Spurs. Spurs haven't won the trophy since 2008. I think all our fan base are just absolutely desperate for a trophy. And it's kind of seen as a failure this season if we end up with no silverware. Is it the same for Liverpool? Is Klopp under pressure if there's no silverware this season?
I don't think so. I think there's obviously a portion of the fan base that they would be unhappy. Listen, I'll be desperately unhappy if we don't win silverware this season. Our best chance of silverware, unfortunately, is just gone. You know, we've been knocked out of the FA
Yeah.
Cup, and I was gutted about that because trophies are why you get into this. It's how you want to support your football team, isn't it? As great as fourth place is, it's not a frigging trophy at the end of the day. You know, and you're just getting into the Champions League generally for a ride. You know, it's not often someone who finishes fourth in their league goes on and wins the Champions League. You know, what's 6 games in Europe when you've really got no chance of winning it? You may as well not be in the Champions League if you've got no chance of winning it. Like, I want Liverpool to get back to winning titles. It's been too long. You know, I was only 7 when Liverpool last won a league title. It's far too long, mate. I've had to wait.
Is there a kind of a time limit that you would say for Klopp to win a trophy, whether otherwise he's under pressure, or is it kind of... Because a lot of people are saying, you know, if Pochettino doesn't win a trophy in the next 2 years, maybe we have to rethink about things. But, you know, it's difficult, isn't it? Is trophies the be-all and end-all?
Yeah, I think they are for me. But equally, you've got to recognise the type of project that these two managers are in, aren't they? I mean, Mauricio Pochettino's taken a side that hasn't won a trophy in, what was it, about 7 years when he took over or something like that. And what was that? What was it before the League Cup?
Yeah, League Cup, yeah, in
and
2008.
What was it before that?
The League Cup in 1999.
So, you know, you're looking at one trophy every 10 years, you know, and the League Cups ultimately, aren't they? You know, and Liverpool are not much better than that over the last sort of 15 years either. You know, we've won a Champions League, we won an FA Cup, but a couple of League Cups. It's not good enough for squads like this and for teams of this size. And the difficulty is that we're trying to do it a different way to everybody else. You know, you've got your Manchester Cities, you've got your Manchester Uniteds, they can throw money around. And Tottenham and Liverpool have to punch a bit smarter. And I think Tottenham are probably a couple of years further down the line than Liverpool in this type of a project. I think it's fair to say. But equally, I've cast jealous glances over at Tottenham signings because, you know, they're identifying players and they're not spending huge amounts of money. And those players are coming in and affecting football matches and being absolutely top draw. So it's going to be difficult to win the Premier League for a team like Liverpool and Tottenham, but you've just got to keep trying because ultimately, what are you going to do? You can't spend the money. So
well,
how do you change that?
Yeah. I agree with that. But the thing is also, it's a big fight for top 4 this season. Obviously, except for Man City, who are pretty much wrapped up. I think the other 5 teams, you know, going into the other 3 spaces, I don't think anyone's got it wrapped up at the moment. And if Liverpool were to miss out somehow on top 4, would that be a deal breaker in terms of Klopp staying?
No, I don't think so. I think, listen, he'll have made a massive mistake in not strengthening this January, and that's that. And listen, there will be a segment of fans that will be absolutely fuming about it. I'll be fuming because I think it's a big gamble not replacing Phil Coutinho in a season as tight as this when the top 6 is as good as they are, and it's as close as it is. And there's still, the Champions League is still on the line. You know what I mean? You know, and it's not likely that we're going to go and win that. Like, but we've got a fairly okay draw. It's probably one of the better draws you could have had. We haven't got Juventus. We've got Porto at the end of the day. So, listen, if Klopp doesn't get top 4 this season, he'll learn from his mistakes. It's what he did last season. You know, we had a terrible January last season. We were close to the top of the league then. But he learned.
And then, Mane got injured and he kind of all fell apart,
Yeah, and, you know, it's one of them. And African Cup of Nations obviously took Mane as well. And Phil Coutinho wasn't firing on all cylinders. So, but what he's done was he's rotated 4 or 5, 6 players through the Christmas period every single game. And he's learned from his mistakes. And I'm sure that he'll learn from his mistakes again if he makes them this season.
Obviously, going to Spurs. Have you seen a lot of Spurs this season? What do you think of them?
Mate, I love watching Spurs. I've loved watching them since Mauricio Pochettino went in there. You know, the first time that I watched them and I saw them bring their 2 fullbacks and split them out wide for a goal kick. And I'm a tactical geek on football, and it was the first time I'd seen anyone do that in England, and I was like, that's absolutely brilliant. I can see what they're doing here. They want to build it out from the back. They trust in their centre halves. They need to play football. You've got two centre halves that play brilliantly together. You've had full backs who just get up and down and are able to cross the ball. It's beautiful to watch the way the three move behind Harry Kane, and I was probably one of the only lads I know saying that Harry Kane's exceptional after his first season. Is not a one-season wonder because
you weren't a bit of Gooner, that's why.
Yeah, probably. I just love his movement. Like, he's not the fastest guy in the world. It doesn't matter. He finds a few yards of space, and he's got one of those Alan Shearer-like shots sometimes where he can just twat it dead hard and dead straight, and it just goes in. Like, I love watching Tottenham play. I love the style of football. It's very similar to Liverpool. I love the fact that they're always putting the opposition under duress, and you can see them making mistakes, and they capitalise on those mistakes. They capitalise quickly. They're a great side to watch, like.
Which players would you take from the Spurs team if you could?
Kane, Son, Ali, Alderweireld, Vertonghen. Moussa Dembele, such an underrated player, like absolutely underrated. I've got to take a goalkeeper. Yeah, I was about to say that one there. Like, I'd take a lot of your side, to be fair. Listen, you've finished second in the league the last 2 years. You know what I mean? And you've had a tough period after you beat us last time out, didn't you? A little bit of a rocky couple of months or month or whatever, but the quality will shine through, won't it?
Would you, if you could, would you swap Salah for Kane?
No.
No, no chance.
Because Kane's not an Egyptian king. You know what I mean? You don't swap a king for a Kane. I mean, that's just stupid.
England captain.
Nah, I'm not having that. This guy's the king of Egypt, man. He's boss. Mo Salah just brings a smile to my face because it's just he's incredible, mate. Honest to goodness, like you know, Kane 21 goals, 1 assist. Salah in his first season 19 goals and 6 assists so far. So ridiculous. You know what I mean? They've both got the same goal to minute ratio as well. Both a goal every 98 minutes. Kane's played more minutes than Salah. So if you look at it like that, they're on an even keel. Yet Mo Salah's actually helping his team out a little bit more in the assist side of things. It's not all down to stats, like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure you wouldn't swap Kane for Salah either because he's that focal point of your team. And Salah probably wouldn't work in the same way that Kane does.
Yeah, I guess they're slightly different positions, but still, I think you can still compare. Who out of the top 4 race at the moment? How you see it? Who do you see missing out at the moment? It's a tough one. It's a very tough call.
See, after last night, I would have said before last night, I would have said Tottenham and Arsenal, but it's probably between Liverpool, Tottenham, and Arsenal.
Yeah, it has to be. It's going to be a close one. And Chelsea, you know, they just lost 3-0 to Bournemouth. They're in it as well, I think.
They just keep doing that, don't they? Like Mourinho, under them, they had that unbeaten run for so long, didn't they? And now they just keep randomly giving 3 points away at Stamford Bridge. It's great to see. Absolutely great to see.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You don't want to stick your neck out just yet, do you?
No.
Picking one.
Exactly. Like, and listen, you know, this is the thing, isn't it? They're all good football sides, man. And they're all fighting for the same thing. And listen, it could equally be Man United. We're 3 points behind Man United. You're 2 points behind us. After the weekend, you could be 2 points behind Man United if they lose, you know, and we could be a point behind you. And it's all so close. Like,
it's all changing so all the time.
I mean, I wanted a draw last night. That would have been the best result for Liverpool. Like, couple of weeks, you know, before that Swansea defeat, I'd have wanted the Tottenham win because I felt like we were looking up. Whereas now we're a little bit looking over our shoulder and let's just put Arsenal to bed. Let's fuck them off. Let's just do them.
We're not far off from that.
TV have the views and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And let them have that and get rid of Wenger in the summer. We'll just take the top 4 from you. You get out of it. Get back in that Europa League. Know your place. And leave the rest to us.
Love that. All right, are you confident for Sunday? What's your prediction?
I am fairly confident. You know, I'm gonna go. You're going to score because everybody scores against Liverpool. I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 Liverpool. Yeah. Okay. You're going to take that. Given Spurs' record at Anfield, it's probably fair. It's a fair prediction. We don't have a very good record against any of the top 6 away, to be honest, but especially Anfield. We seem to really, really get stuck there. All right. Cheers, Chris.
What's your prediction?
My prediction. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to hope for a draw 2-2. I'm going to hope
question, how long have you been doing the YouTube channel?
9 months.
Have you ever predicted a Tottenham loss?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever predicted a Tottenham loss.
I've been doing this on YouTube since 2010, right?
Wow, it's a long time.
Yeah, I've never predicted a Liverpool loss.
Never,
right?
That's how it goes.
I have predicted about 5 draws in that time, and that right, and that's it. And the rest have been Liverpool wins. So don't take my prediction for anything other than hope and dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah, mine too. Honestly, I'll be delighted with the draw if we can get a point at Anfield. Absolutely fantastic result. But I'm not holding out too much hope with your front three. But we'll see. All right, cheers for coming on, Chris. Thanks. If you want to check out his channel, link will be in the description below. RedmenTV. It's a good channel for good Liverpool content. Check it out in the description. Cheers, Chris.
Cheers, mate.